And we're back with Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. And on time too.
Commanding Righteous.
Yup. 101. Because I'm just not good with titles. So like Kingmaker was Kingdom Ruling 101, and it's like, what do you call this? Commanding Righteously 101. Because it's called Wrath of the Righteous. Anyway. So last we left off, we did some stuff. So there's a lot of dialogue and stuff to read for the characters and whatnot. But aside from that, bro, yeah, in next campaign, I'm just gonna roll a full caster.
Okay.
What about you?
I was thinking about either a Storm Sorcerer or a Paladin Mage.
What do you mean a Paladin Mage?
Because there's this thing where you can get cantrips and such, so I was thinking about that.
Oh yeah, they added a new fighting style where you can choose cleric cantrips. So that's what you're going for?
Yeah.
Alright. So you won't have much in the way of strength, but you're like hyper focused on charisma. Alright.
And still being human.
Well, obviously. It's hard to pass up a free feat. Any idea what your feat's gonna be?
Yeah, it's going to be either heavy armor or mage initiate.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Before I head out, let's actually do this. I've been putting this off for a while. Alright. The guard's got nothing new to say. Talk to Arabeth. She might have something new to say. Nope.
What about her wife? What about her wife?
Let's find out. Nevia, you got anything new to say? Nope.
Wow.
What about Ivu? Oh yeah, I never talked to her. Alright. Why did humans invent paint if they weren't going to paint anything with them? If the roofs and roads of Dresden were painted, the city wouldn't look so boring. Where do you come from again, and why did you decide to help me? You're my bestest friend. How could I not help you? As for coming here, I just sensed your power and flew all the way to you. I mean, I can't usually fly between the planes by myself, but your power was like a guiding light, so I just flew. Tell me about Elysium. I can't tell you all that much about Elysium. I only lived there for 5 years, after all. If you don't count the time I spent as an egg. It's a beautiful world. So many things grow there, and they produce beautiful fruit. But there are some fruits that you're not allowed to eat. There are some places that you're not allowed to fly either. And there are places that kids aren't allowed to visit, though not as many as there are here on Galeria. All kinds of beings live in Elysium, even titans and gods. But I've only ever met one, Caden Kylene. He's not like other gods. He can go wherever he wants and talk to whoever he wants. Imagine that. There I was, just flying around on some errands, and I met him, a god. He let me sit on his shoulder and carried me around for a bit. It was so much fun. But then he gave me a sip of beer, and I said it tasted revolting. I realized it probably wasn't the best thing to say to the god of ale and wine, but he wasn't angry. He just laughed and said I'd understand when I grew up. I hate it when people say that. Even a god. You'd think a god would know what dragons like.
Yeah. Your taste is godly refined enough for that.
All right.
You're still.
What do you think? What do you think of my companions? Oh! I thought you'd never ask.
Whoa.
I like Arushale the best. She's so cute, and she has wings too. They make her twice as cute. Ember is kind, but I'm a little scared of her. And don't tell anyone this. I almost got in a fight with that crow of hers. Regil? Boo. Let's kick him out. Pretty please? Socio always smiles at me, but he won't paint me properly. I keep telling him to add an extra tail, a fluffy one, and make my claws fluffy, and maybe add a golden little plume that glows. But
you wish you were that. Oh, wow. Thank you. I would like to be.
But he just says that I don't look like that in real life.
I know you don't.
Who cares about real life when you can imagine so much better? Hear, hear.
Damn. That's not me, because all you can see is your real self.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Ivu's got it. Boo, Socio. Alright. See, I kind of like her, but I kind of don't. She always treats me like I'm just some little pipsqueak. I mean, I know I'm little, but I'm still a dragon. Camellia is beautiful, but her spirit doesn't seem to want to talk to me for some reason. I guess it's just too shy. Yeah. See? Even Ivu is a good judge. Ivu's a great judge of character. But they say Socio praises Camellia. Awesome. Alright. Guys were right. The Azada Pass, good choice. Good choice. Ivu's got it. Moving on. Woljif let me Woljif let me pull on his tail. So now he's even more my friend than before. I don't even want to talk about Greybor. It feels like he's always sizing me up, wondering what kind of trophy I'll make when I'm big. I'll steal his pack one night and chew it up just because I can. Dayron is mean. He doesn't think I'm even a little bit cute. I'm sure of it. How can you even speak to someone who doesn't love a cute little dragon like me? I'm a bit scared of Ninio. She's already tried to catch me 3 times. She said she wanted to measure me with a ruler or something and attach a clothespin to my wing. It sure was annoying. Windwag is a meanie, and I don't like meanies. She's still cute, though. Her little spider legs are the cutest of all. Agree to disagree. I like Arabeth, but only from a distance. I don't want to be too friendly with her. I mean, she'd probably start making scary faces and stamping her feet if I scattered peas at where the paladins go to pray. You know, to make them slip and flail their arms about trying to stay standing. It would be so funny. And Nevia probably wouldn't yell at me, but she'd probably catch me before I even poured the piece. I'm friends with your entire court, especially Aranka, Wallflower, and Ilks. But you probably know that already, right? Aren't you scared of battling the demons? Not even a tiny little bit. After all, I have you by my side. By the way, next time we meet any demons, we should ask them if they're scared to fight us. I have to go. Then I have to go too. We have to go, both of us. Alright. Early sunset. I never talked to this guy. He showed up like saying he would be help be a mentor for the Azada Palace. Let's see. Early sunset greets you graceful as ever. What questions are you burdened with? Tell me about yourself. By mortal standards, I am very, very old. So telling you about myself would take an unreasonably long time. Early sunset closes his shimmering eyes for a moment. Many of the creatures you call supernatural emerged from the reborn souls of mortals. I am not one of them. I was shaped from a fragment of my home plane, as an embodiment of its principles. An eternity has passed since then. during which I've seen the incredible and witnessed the unbelievable. Gods battling one another, demon lords rising and falling, centuries-long disputes over the fate of the single soul brought before Pharasma's judgment. Yet despite the breadth of my experience, there are still things in this world that can surprise me. Like you, for instance. Tell me about the gods and things that have happened on other planes. You must have witnessed many great events. Oh, I know a story that you should find engaging. It's not directly related to you or current events, but it is still quite instructive. It occurred, let me see, less than 600 years ago, as time is measured in the material plane. In other words, it might as well have been yesterday. It all began with Aelor, Lady of the Hunt, a demon lord who has since perished. It was her penchant to take control of the body of a recently deceased hero and visit their family and friends to wreak death on them in an especially gruesome manner. Aelor preferred to keep the hero's soul somewhere close at hand to make them watch their loved ones die, unable to intervene. Early sunset falls silent for a moment. Believe me, I take no pleasure in recounting this meaningless violence. It so happened that Aelor picked a righteous Desnan priestess, one the goddess was especially fond of, as her new victim. It enraged the goddess, and believe me, the wrath of the righteous is much more destructive than that of evil and darkness. Hey, he said the thing. We can roll credits. Alright. Desna stormed into the abyss itself and obliterated Aelor along with her realm, reduced her to dust, scattered her in the wind, and when she did that, something unprecedented occurred. Demon lords who had lived like spiders in a jar since time immemorial, never missing a chance to bite each other, suddenly band together in an alliance called the Coalition of Chaos. I don't recall ever, and I mean ever, laughing as hard as I did when I first heard that name. That said, most of the gods did not see the humor in it. A planar war was about to break out, one that would claim at least as many lives as Earthfall. All because of a single priestess, her family, and her friends. Thankfully, Callistria wished to right Desna's wrongs. The goddess of revenge revealed her most powerful aspect, sowing discord among the demon lords. The savored Sting is a true artist in that regard. I must say, the coalition of chaos crumbled, and the war never began. The demon lords and their armies crawled back to the abyss where they belonged without glory. And you can say, lawful, it seems you want to warn me against the recklessness displayed by Desna. Or no alignment change. Callistria is truly godlike in this story. And the chaotic choice. At least Desna actually fought evil instead of sitting on her hands.
Yeah.
So, like, if I had to say, though, like, it's not like...
It would be chaotic.
I'd say Callistria just sided with Desna on this. Because, like, Desna just went out and sought revenge. And Callistria's all for that.
And she did something. Wow. And she got off her throne to do it.
That was like...
went straight to hell.
That was like a direct slide against the deity. And the deity went and sought revenge. And when they tried to do something about the... in punishment, Callistria came and said, no, it sticks.
Yeah, she didn't really do anything. She just made sure
Callistria stopped a demonic
whole plane.
A demonic alliance. Alright. At least Desna actually fought evil instead of sitting on her hands. If you feel in your heart that this is the right path, do not stop. Act as the beautiful goddess of the stars did. Alright. Elysium, what is it like? It is a plane of great contradictions. It is built on the ideas of freedom, good deeds, and openness to all. But here is the paradox. If you do not believe in restrictions and are prepared to accept everyone, must you also accept those who seek to restrain your freedom and bind you? If you are good and enjoy liberty, must you put up with those who are evil and who thirst for power? Will banishing them be considered a restriction of their freedom? So many questions. So chaotic is that plane that its separate parts contrast sharply with the whole. Vengeful Callistria and Gorum, the embodiment of endless and meaningless war, rule over Elysium alongside the carefree Desna and the adventurer gods Cade and Kylene. I might say that the one thing Elysium cannot abide is order, but it wouldn't be quite true. It is more that order avoids Elysium at all costs.
No law. There's gonna be a Hell Knight.
How is your study of my power progressing? Not quite as quickly as I'd like. Still, I can already tell that the key to controlling your power lies in self-control, believe it or not. You're driven by emotion. It may bring visions of Elysium upon you, or it may turn the rock you stand upon into a garden. So far, these manifestations of power have been harmless. But someday you might transform a fortress wall into standing between you and the enemy army into a curtain of flowering vines. That's why you cannot simply let things run their course. Be cautious and prudent when making decisions. I'll be there for you. I will intervene and advise you if the choice you are about to make is potentially dangerous. Why did you decide to help me in the first place? Someone had to, says Early Sunset, his voice heavy and with meaning. Anyone who wields that kind of power, especially a power heretofore unknown, that shifts the balance in the world room, cannot be left unattended. As much as I'd like to avoid odious comparisons to a moth drawn to a flame, it is true in a sense. I have been drawn to your light, so here I am. I have to go. Farewell, and remember that I am here to help. That was nice.
He doesn't want to be restricted. It's all about freedom.
Yeah. Alright.
I'm a veteran.
Half Measure Tavern. See what's going on in the tavern. Bright lights. Alright, there we go. Nobles. Friend told me Queen Galfrey has the best horse in Mendav, maybe even the best in the world. He said it's so fast and furious that she rides around Nerocean, leaping from one roof to another, never touching the streets. I think we'll just be telling this story. Here's what I think. It doesn't matter what's under the saddle. The only thing that matters is who's holding the reins. Sure. More peasants. Don't tell anyone, but I've got that book banned by the Mendevian censors. Really? The one where Baphomet and his vile family backstab each other, indulge in debauchery, and do other outrageous things?
Ooh.
Yes, the Game of Owns. Don't be so loud, or I won't let you borrow it. Is this a shot at Game of Thrones? More peasants chatting away. I say there are too many freeloaders in the Citadel. The commander should get rid of at least half. or else we'll soon have nothing to eat. How? You can't just snap your fingers and make half the Citadel's population disappear. Ha! Aha!
Actually, you could. With your power.
Doesn't. Word on the street is that soon we'll have some Aslanti artifacts on our side. I heard that rumor. Project Demonic Grim, right? But what exactly is it? They say it's giant metal golems, each taller than the Citadel. They'll squish that giant bug Dascari in no time. It's like callbacks to like several movies and popular series. Hey, no one else here except Greybor. Let's see, can I help you, Commander? I want to know more about you. I know what you're asking. How did someone like me end up in these lands? A warrior without kith or kin, or godly blessing, or crusader's mantle. Many have asked the same. Tell me about your past. I was born in Daggermark, the city of thieves, murderers, and poisoners. I soldiered for a while, served in the infantry under Jalar Clovish. Didn't take long to realize there's two types of Daggermark soldiers. There's the dumb thugs who need to be bossed around, and then there's the venturous lads who use the title to do murder and extortion for hire. You can guess which ones I fell in with. I knew the rules of the game, and the wealthy often called on me to solve their problems or get a leg up on their competition. Then I got into a quarrel with an officer, and I left the service and became an independent contractor. It turns out, outside Daggermark, there's a lot fewer specialists who fit my profile. A proper assassin can get paid pretty well. The job took me all over Avestan before I came here. Lawful, you could have protected your home and served your own people, and you chose the work of an assassin? I don't understand you. And chaotic. Good for you for leaving the army. Soldiers are the same as assassins, only they work for the politicians, and they don't get paid. Or third, you had your reasons. I'll choose the chaotic one. Very true. And in Daggermark, they don't make much effort to hide it. Do you have a family? My people don't brook trade with assassins. The family I'm from are honest merchants and loyal worshippers of Torag. By now, they must think I'm dead. They'd be appalled if they found out how things really stood. The dwarf grows grim, and his strong teeth clench his pipe until it cracks. As for my other family, I got one of those too. On my travels, I met a woman, fair and kind. For her, I laid down my weapon, got a house, became a simple city dweller. We had a daughter. We lived like that for a year and a half before the road called me back. I loved her, but that life, it was like I was being buried alive. I was ready to kill myself just to end the torturous meaninglessness. Only the road could cure me of those thoughts. But for some reason, I keep going back to that house I once lived in, to the woman I once loved, to the daughter I don't even really know, and who doesn't know me. I watch from afar. I don't have the right to return to their lives. Mora, my daughter, I don't know what she is to me, the biggest mistake of my life, or the greatest mark I'll leave on the world. Good. Good ally, so I can be one of any alignment here. Let's see, chaotic. But she could have gone traveling with you, couldn't she? Evil. Keep on whining like that and you'll lose my respect. Lawful. You had a family to take care of and you abandoned them. That's despicable. And good. I feel sorry for you. Sometimes you have to pay for love with suffering or regret. That's good? Damn.
How about that? I go chaotic.
Sure. But she could have gone traveling with you, couldn't she? Greybor frowns and nods to you. Yes, but I'm not made for family life, nor she for life on the road. Does that mean I'm the villain? No. Honestly, whenever any person who considers themselves evil or possibly evil usually is not a bad person.
Well, that's only in self-reflex.
Yeah.
But
because everybody is considered the hero of their own story by average, no matter how heinous the deeds they're willing to do. But it's usually always good people who consider the possibility that I'm the baddie, I'm the bad guy here. Usually means there's a lot to it than that.
He just couldn't retire.
There's just too much to it when you think you're the bad person.
This
is why he's neutral instead of any kind of evil, despite the fact that he's an assassin. Alright, what brought you to the Worldwounds? The dwarf shrugs. There's a lot of jobs here, or a lot of good jobs here, and not many competitors. A lot of dangerous demons, and every one of them has gobbled up someone's son, wife, or best friend. And who do they come to for vengeance? To the Crusaders? They're bound up by their orders, and they lack the necessary skills. The people who hire me don't want to wait until the crusade ends, if it ever will. That's where I come in, ready to deliver targeted vengeance, today, for a generous fee.
Don't you alright.
What's your opinion on the crusade? I'd lie if I said I see much difference between me and the Crusaders. Times now aren't like they were during the First Crusade. Nowadays, the ranks of the Crusaders are filled with fugitives, opportunists, exiled nobles, fortune hunters, and lads who just plain love carnage. And all of them should thank the gods that the Worldwound is still open. Otherwise, they'd be busy with robbery and murder. And when they met me in the street, they'd not be wearing noble scowls, but taking off their hats and addressing me as sir.
Just like it.
All right. Let's see. Apparently, you have a good. Don't you dare compare Crusaders to criminals. They are fighting against demon invasion.
That's an option?
That's good, Eli.
Oh,
all right. Lawful. But Crusaders are guided by their duty and loyalty to the Queen, not money. Evil. You're right. Sometimes I wonder how these fools still haven't figured it out. Or 4. Sounds logical, although not many Crusaders would agree with you.
I'll do that.
Yeah. Sounds logical. They have the right to their opinion, just as I do. You've satisfied my curiosity. You know, you're the first among my clients to ask such questions. Tell me about your craft. Like any master of his craft, I can talk for hours about the subtleties of my trade and my finest works. Or would you prefer to test me yourself? What's the most important thing in an assassin's work? Greybor chuckles. The first rule of an assassin? Bring the head back with you. Seriously though, tactics and equipment are what matters. The winner isn't the strongest, but the one who strikes first, so long as that's also last. When I get a job, I don't rush into things. Let the victim know they're being hunted. Let them reinforce their guards, trust no one, and fall into paranoia. And only when the victim is exhausted, at the end of their tether, do I come in to wish them sweet dreams. It might sound funny, but believe me, no one's laughing in that room. Are you haunted by remorse? Not at all. I've met a lot of good people. Not many of them had a generous price on their heads. Everyone is a thorn in someone else's side. For some reason, folks imagine that the good lads have fair right to ruin the lives of the bad ones, and not the other way around. But it's only the morals of the majority that determines who's good and who's evil, and who's good and who's a villain. And those morals shift every day. I've been to many different places, talked to many different people, and the morals were different everywhere. Good line. Killing for gold is horrible. How do you sleep at night? Evil. Your words are true. Self-reproach is for weaklings and cowards. Lawful. Lords, judges, and priests should deliver death sentences, not you. And chaotic. Some people just have to die.
Yeah.
And the sooner the better. I'm sure you've killed a lot more scumbags than good people.
I'll go chaotic.
Or in the last one, I hear you.
I'll go chaotic.
Alright. Yeah, chaotic. Killing good people doesn't tend to pay very well. It's the dangerous, twisted, bloody sons of bitches who fetch the highest bounty. That's why they're my specialty. You must value your reputation a great deal. Greybor nods with dignity. Of course, in my line of work, reputation is everything. It keeps away the random fools who are looking for a fight. And the right people know I can be trusted. Anyone who has no care for their reputation is no better than a frog-eating kobold. There's no doing business with those hacks. The best you can do is use them for a job and then kill them afterwards. Whereas I, as a professional with a name, demand respect from the client. Tell me about your best murder. The most difficult one was a professor at the Clockwork Cathedral in Absalom. The very existence of this wizard mechanic was a secret, and almost nobody knew his face or his name. Hunting him down was a symphony of violence and hard tactics. I had to sneak through his secret underground palace that looked like a wind-up dollhouse put together by a psychopath. No rational mind could have invented such intricate traps. And there were mechanical cutlass spiders everywhere. They nearly took 2 fingers and an ear. The professor was a dangerous bloke. Day and night he wore a deadly mechanism as a sort of armor, which made him look like an 8-legged, steam-spewing winged monster. But I came prepared. A tomb raider from Osirian had taught me how to avoid the traps. Osirian. One of the first civilizations to rise in the wake of Earthfall. Osirian is also one of the greatest empires in the history of Golarion, a nation of great knowledge, wealth, and power. This ancient land harbors pyramids, mummies, terrible curses, and endless sand, as well as a culture steeped in proud traditions, devout respect for the gods, dedication to communal service, and the unswerving devotion to its rulers. Osirian today is just emerging from millennia of Kelashite rule and regaining the legacy of the pharaohs supplanted by these foreign oppressors. Alright. And I opened up his armored suit with a lick-toed goblin sword. It's not even a sword, more like a giant can opener. They use them to pull fallen knights from their armor to devour later, but I digress. I tore open his armor and saw his true form. Don't ask me what it was. I'll just say it was very unexpected. The mechanic went berserk and attacked me with incredible force. He was too much for me, and I had to flee. The full fight he'd won until he realized I'd reassembled all his traps into a giant death machine. 2 minutes after I escaped, his palace turned into a cloud of dust. Without his immaculate armor, my mark was sent on his merry way to, well, I suppose he's on a plane for broken golems and music boxes. Do you worship any of the gods? It's my family's way to worship Torag, but he's not my god. Many craftsmen venerate Torag, and I consider my work a craft. But Torag's priests also say that he abhors murder. Either way, I name another god as my patron, Norgrbur, the god of dark and unlawful actions. He and I, we have an understanding. Norgrbur, Blackfingers, is my patron. Unlike many of the other gods, he himself was once mortal, which makes him honest. His teachings are built upon the grim truths of the streets that raised me. Norgrbur will not try to fool you. He will never demand that you achieve perfection. After all, everyone knows that he is not perfect himself. Let's see, Norgrbur. Norgrbur is known as the once mortal god of thievery and assassination, as well as a keeper of secrets. He is called the Reaper of the Reputation by some, but he has more insidious titles among worshippers who venerate his other three aspects: Blackfingers, Father Skinsaw, and the Grey Master. He remains an enigma to most, and his true motives are unknown. Many of his own followers remain ignorant of his plan and designs. Norgrbur is the only evil god amongst the Ascended. Alright. Countless psychopaths and other scum worship him too. Butchers who've conducted mass murders call him Father Skinsaw. Boneheaded street vermin thank the Grey Master for a bunch of coins they've managed to wrest away from a passerby. And of course, the most despicable of them all, those who praise Norgrbur as the Reaper of Reputation, those disgusting rotten rats, politicians. I have no more questions. If you have any more, come to me. I have some experience and I'm willing to share. Do you like working for me? After some thought, the dwarf offers you a slight smile. Yes, I like you, Commander. You don't keep me from doing what I do. You don't try to preach at me, and you act with precision and competence. I respect that. Want to know more about your last client? He decided to remain anonymous, but I suspect his name is Willidus. I'd already struck off a few lesser demons for him, and later, in Canabris, a stronger one. And in the battle for Dresden, the client insisted I kill the demon with a dagger he gave me, and tell the wretch that Willidus said hello. According to my client, one stab would be enough, but it turned out differently. The demon survived, a stain on my reputation. I don't know why he got it wrong. Simple incompetence, or did he set me up to fail? Either way, I'd love to have another chat with this Willidus. Alright. We can stop there. Greybor nods silently and focuses on lighting up a freshly packed pipe. Well, that was an interesting chat. Yeah, alright. The food. Atrocious. Hey, Atrocious! Greetings, believer of Camelia's goodness, even though there is obvious proof of her evil nature.
He hasn't gone that far yet!
Hey, look, even if she was, I bet I could change her. She's always trying to do the right thing anyway. Even if she's just a little misguided.
her heart is
So
inevitably
you're
in the
gonna
right
join her
place.
in a ritual.
Hey, like Ragongar and Octavia, you can change their alignments based on your actions in Kingmaker. The same can be true here. Yeah. So like, come on. Aside from that, Atrocious, just figured like, might as well talk to the NPCs or in characters now, because like, I don't know when they're going to disappear. Plus, like, I'm advancing a bit too much in the story. Let's see. I never talked to Horgus Worm in a while. There we are. Where is he? Oh, I'm right on top. Alright. See. No, he doesn't have anything new to say. Alright. One-eyed devil. No. Oh. Let's see. A fine day to you, Commander. After greeting you loudly, the tiefling looks around cautiously and continues in a whisper. Tell me, is it true that Iomade herself made you her chosen one? I ask because there are rumors in the army, and I've been offered a tidy sum to procure a few of your nail clippings. Some believe they heal all disease, but it's up to you, of course. But if you want to make some money, what do you say? You want to buy some nail clippings? Why not? Show me the money first, though. Sure, why not? I already made this joke before. Certainly. The tiefling gives you some gold coins, then wraps your nail clippings in a paper and stows them in the purses hanging from his belt. Sure, I got 50 gold. I could use it. Sure. Oh my god. Remember, Anivia made the same joke. She's like, they say everything's blessed. By the way, could you hold this rock for me?
Now breathe on it. Yeah. Yeah, even the queen came back. You know what? I also have that one.
Like, I'd be like, sure.
Hey. Did you also?
Alright. See, go into the prison. Gonna talk to Nora, see if I can get some clues from her. Probably not, but might as well try and ask, you know?
Trickster, activate.
Nora. Come to gloat. I need information. Ask, it's too late for me to hide anything. The demon hordes keep attacking us without warning, as if they're appearing out of thin air. Do you know how they're doing it? I can't say for sure, but I've heard rumors. There's a place called the Molten Scar where the Grey Road makes a sharp turn and forks. It must be hard to miss. It's a big gorge with lava flowing at the bottom. A Varrock sorceress has a lair there. If you continued your offensive beyond Dresden, the Varrock was supposed to organize an army at your flank and cut you off from behind. I don't know what it means. Maybe she maintains a rift there. Alright. That's it. Alright, Nora shrugs without saying a word. I'm not here to execute. I'm not gonna set her free either. Yeah. I don't know. What do you do with that? Someone who's evil, she's not. You can't rehabilitate them, and if you just let them go, they will kill you or stab you in the back. Executor, no, I'm not about that. Too bloodthirsty, Trussies. We don't kill unnecessarily.
He only does that for the women.
What? No, I spared the guys.
Sure. Just like you did with that giant.
Dude, I tried. The game literally wouldn't even let me leave. Like, I was in battle and wouldn't let me leave the map. You just admit you can't rehabilitate someone who's evil. I can't rehabilitate everyone who's evil. I can't rehabilitate Nora. See, I know where you're going with this, and Camilla is obviously trying. She does good.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need to stop. Come on. You gotta believe.
You and those bloody rituals.
You just have to believe. Have faith. If you give up on them, then there's no chance for them to change at all.
Give her the flower power.
Yeah.
You follow.
And by the way, if it turns out she's actually evil and you guys aren't just bullshitting, you're not just trolling, I still wouldn't kill her or kick her out. I just would no longer be pursuing her as my romantic interest. That's literally it. That's the only change. We'll stop when you run out of retorts. Never! I will never stop running out of retorts.
And the only,
At least that
the only girl he's got is the Succubus.
Oh, God. That's terrible.
She's
You know what? No, she's not the worst. I'd say, like, okay. In terms of, like, romantic options, Ninio's the worst. Then it's... Actually, hold on. Let's see. Actually, yeah. If it wasn't for me just not liking the design, I'd go after Windwalk. The character is great. She's fucking badass. It's just character design that makes me say no. Let's see. You can't go with Sela regardless, so she's not on the radar. Then it'd be Arushale and then Camilla. I honestly think Camilla and Queen Galfrey would be like in the same boat though.
Why's that?
Because I like them both. I wish I had more of Queen Galfrey as a playable character here, as opposed to just like an NPC. But as far as like someone like I want to be with, it would definitely be Queen Galfrey or Camilla. Let's see. Nothing new with Sela. Alright, we are at nighttime. Oh wait, let me talk to the leader of our military bracket. He's also next to Sela somewhere. He's somewhere near. Let's see. Where is he? You prefer Galfrey? Isn't she like a millennia older than you? I think she's 100 years older than me. And Camilla's a half-elf, so isn't she going to be much older than me too? I am a human.
No, she is like a human.
I thought half-elves aged like, oh no, I'm thinking the player handbook in 5th edition D&D. Cause like, I read it. They, like, humans will age to 100, half-elves age till they're like 180. But that's not Pathfinder.
But you're slow. She ages just like a human. She just lasts longer than a human.
But I'm just saying, like, age is not the big barrier. Now, if she looked her age, where it's like, I'm pretty sure I would hurt her if I was trying to engage in relations, I would not go for that. That's like, there's a limit, people.
She's just a girl.
Yeah, that's another limit. That's another reason I don't want to be with Windwalk. She's like, her race is like she dies at around her 30s. So by that logic, she's probably really young compared to me.
She's on her.
I'd consider. You sure? Because like as far as I'm concerned, like if you die at age 30 from old age, then that means like 15 for her would be 50 for me. So, you know, that means her 25 would be half that. Which means she's more likely like 7 years old or some shit. And that's just not doing it for me.
Wow,
Now,
you just changing people's age.
And like, okay, true, I don't know about mongrels. So maybe they like hyperage, like they just chrysalis. Like after they hit like age 20, it's like a year later, they look like they're 100 years old or something. I don't know. Let's see, Selkind. Who the hell is this? Selkind. Alright, Selkind bows respect. Hold on, thankfully it has a highlight. Selkind is the captain of the Blackstone Company, elite mercenaries from Andoran. Queen Galfrey paid the company to fight in the crusade under your command. Okay. Selkind bows respectfully and says amiably, I was hoping you would honor me with a visit. I know you're extremely busy, but I've been eager to meet the person who managed to restore Golarian control over a part of Sarkorian lands for the first time in decades. This is incredibly symbolic. Remind me who you are again. I am Captain Selkind, the commanding officer of a mercenary band called the Blackstone Company. We're the vanguard of an enduring group of sellswords whose services were paid for by Queen Galfrey. Our advanced forces were sent to Dresden, and I am happy that I was chosen to lead them. No, the Mongols don't age that badly. Their body just stops functioning altogether. So... Oh, so...
Oh, second live longer.
So they just... So it's like, what's the term? Like organ failure? Like they just drop dead from organ failure?
No, they can live longer. They just...
It's
like radiation poisoning.
So they die... Alright, whatever. But they're still dying around the age of 30 like the synopsis is. Like when yeah, okay, so... Like everybody... Like, Queen Galfrey is living past the age of humans.
That's because special elixir.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that there are ways for people to extend their lifespan. But I'm just saying, on average, unless Windog does something, she's going to die around age 30 like any other Mongol. Like when you go, I guess. But like,
well, if she turns into a demon, that won't happen.
Anybody lives longer if they do shit like that. If she turns into an angel, she'll live longer.
Yeah.
If I turn her into a dead with a lich path, everybody will live longer.
No, they won't be living at all.
Undeath is another form of life.
No, it's not.
Didn't you play... Alright, you were there with Pathfinder Kingmaker. Tell that to J-Fall. Alright. Let's see. Tell me about your mercy. Yes, they still die at age 35, but not less of old age than of body failure because of the mutations. No.
Continue.
Oh, the mutations don't stop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Because it's barely that they even live at all.
Alright, well, we're gonna move on. Tell me about your mercenary company. The Blackstone Company is proud to be recognized as one of the finest Andoran mercenary regiments. I've already read about Andorra. We're not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve the tyrants of the world. No, we're adventurers eager to get involved in a dangerous enterprise and leave it with pockets full of gold and a clear conscience. Which is why we held a vote among our units. We were glad to accept Queen Galfrey's invitation to join the crusade, though some of our commanders did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. But like I said, we Andorans are a free people who cannot be pushed around and who cannot be bought, only convinced. You must have stories to tell. Let's put it this way. If I father any children, I'll have something to tell them. I wasn't even 20 when I joined the Blackstone Company. I've seen my share of scuffles, but my goal in every conflict remains the same: to defend the common folk. Not all sellswords treat civilians well, you know, but my soldiers have never disgraced themselves with dishonorable conduct. I like this guy. He's cool. Alright.
This is where he hailed from.
Yeah. Once, I even joined an expedition that reached the crown of the world. I swear, I've never neglected such crucial strategic necessities as supplying the troops with warm undergarments after that.
I went through hell.
Nice.
Oh, God.
Alright. Nice attempt to censor yourself, bro. Nice try. But, like, this channel is marked as mature. Because I was planning on playing, like, Witcher and Cyberpunk, all those games, all the games where people cuss out the wazoo. So you guys, to get this out the way. Hell, damn, bitch, fuck, shit, penis, vagina, dick, pussy, what else we got? Ball.
Wait, you can't keep on doing
that. And the trust is, ball warmers are essential. Yes. Yeah, that would be true. I don't know, like, it's kind of weird, but like atrocious, go nuts, like just be like a middle school kid and say all the dirty words you can think of, like in one go, because like I shouldn't have any of it censored in the chat. Like everybody should be allowed to say whatever the hell they damn well please, except for spoilers. And I can barely. And I can barely stop you, bro. So it's like whatever. But aside from that, yeah. All right, moving on. Despite not always agreeing with my superiors in the company, I earned my reputation as a competent officer. I always relied on thought-out logistics, exercised caution, and strictly followed tactical doctrine. Here we go. Teenager.exe has ceased functioning ages ago. Fair enough. Not what we can do there. Alright. Let's see. You look like a soldier to the core. You must have been serving all your life. Selkine chuckles. Who knows what kind of future holds for me? In my spare time, I study history and applied anthropology. I'm just an amateur, of course, but sometimes I think I could be a decent lecturer. Almost as good as I am as an adventurer. Why, I might even find a way to combine the two callings. I was completely smitten when I discovered Sarkorian lore, or Sarkorian culture. Same thing, really. They were such an interesting people, just freedom-loving, tenacious. Sure, their traditions were not entirely flawless, but nevertheless, their demise was a great loss for all of Avestan. Man, alright. I have some questions about your fascination with Sarkoris. Alright. I understand that few people are interested in this subject. Even other anthropologists unjustly neglected. I thought it was archaeologists that were in the history. What? I thought anthropologists was something else. Whatever. But I intend to shed light on this chapter of history. If anything remains of Sarkoris, I will find it, no matter how small its shards may be.
That talks about people and cultures that are far gone.
That still sounds like archaeology.
That's about objects. He's tracing clans and people growth.
Alright.
Things that would give out when we do that, we're looking at weapons, tomes of stuff, and gear stuff. I'm saying particular stuff that can be expanded.
Okay.
Like what they and some armors, pieces of clothing that still exist. Why did they wear it?
Why do you know? There's a lot of interesting stuff I was passing by through these guys. Alright. What fascinates you so much about Sarkoris? A sparkle of passion gleams in Selkine's eyes. They were an amazing people. We're used to treating Sarkoris like a barbaric northern land inhabited by brutish and primitive people who condemn magic and dance to the shaman's tune. But this is our snobbery speaking. In fact, life in Sarkoris was much more nuanced and sophisticated. Behind the false front we erected, there was hiding a nation of skilled craftsmen, wise stargazers, enlightened priests, and clear-thinking chieftains. They were anything but bloodthirsty and brutish. They managed to create a nation without shackling themselves with the bonds of monarchy or thrusting power into the hands of wealthy magnates. They were cultured, spiritual, curious, and they despised injustice. Sure, they had their flaws, but are there many nations in the world where power genuinely belongs to the people? Over the last few years, I've seen acts of horror even in Andorran, not to mention in other countries. In Sarkoris, power was given to those who earned their authority. I feel that if it weren't for the World Wound disaster, they would have given Avestan and the entirety of Golarion a distinct vision of the future where everyone was free and equal. The fall of Sarkoris is a tragedy, and therefore we must expend every effort to collect the pieces of that picture.
Perfect source of free.
How do you plan to look for the remnants of Sarkorian culture? I am sending scout patrols to places where, if my assumptions are correct, there may be still Sarkorian refuges hidden in plain sight. I don't believe a whole country can perish without a trace. Among the locations, I'm interested in are Pulora's Fall, the mining town of Zasvel, to the west of here, the city of Undarin, Bloodwood Settlement, and many others. The captain's expression grows stern. Of course, some of the company's commanders think I divert too many resources to such expeditions, but I couldn't care less. If there are any survivors, we will save them. Knowledge World check passed. Which is surprising for me. It must have been a low check. Hold on. It won't tell me what I passed it by. It just says I passed. Okay. But plenty of refugees from Sarkoris found a home in other lands. Their culture lives on. Well, that's open to interpretation. Once Sarkorian refugees found themselves in foreign lands and surrounded by strangers, they inevitably began to adopt the culture of their hosts. Have you met Sarkorians from Numeria? By now, they are more Numerian than not, and for that I blame the people in power. It was in their interest to erase the cultural identity of the arriving Sarkorians, to forge them into new subjects who had forgotten their homeland. Besides, Sarkoris was never a monolithic entity. It was an alliance of countless tribes, each carrying different cultural baggage, sometimes even contradicting one another. To piece together an understanding of the customs of Sarkoris as a whole, you can't rely only on the knowledge of the surviving tribes. Have you ever heard of a village called the Winter Sun? Actually, that's why I'm here. As soon as I learned that you had discovered a settlement where the surviving Sarkorians still live, I volunteered to take command of the company vanguard. It's a fantastic, priceless anthropological discovery. And I hope the devastated lands of former Sarkoris still have little nooks like Winter Sun. I have no more questions. Feel free to return with more if they appear. Let me know if you need help with the research. Actually, I could use some help. A group of my scouts has gone missing, Presumably, they got lost. They're competent and reliable soldiers that I trained personally. Their orders were to carefully and stealthily retreat if they discovered anything dangerous. If you find my men, please give them directions to Dresden. I'd be extremely grateful. Please let me mark the area they were headed on your map. Old Sarkorian Mines has been revealed. What can you tell me about Sarkorian culture? With pleasure. I studied their traditions, their customs, and their rulers. I know what they loved, and I know what they feared. Did they really persecute mystic practitioners in Sarkoris? It would be historically inaccurate to deny it, or to excuse these acts. Yes, Sarkorian society was not perfect. They reacted to mystical power with fear and prejudice. But this particular conflict was deeply rooted in politics. In many countries, mystic practitioners hold vast power due to their special abilities. It's these people who often become oppressors, tyrants, and despots. Yes, the treatment of mystics in Sarkoris was cruel and unjust, but the people united in struggle against a minority that often encroached upon their interests in a very hostile manner. I'm repulsed by the idea of throwing innocent people into prisons, but I'm not naive. Those political realities can't simply be dismissed or ignored. They need to be understood and addressed, because these desperate actions also have a certain logic at their core. Tell me what you find most exciting about Sarkorian history. Have you ever heard of God Callers? Oh, they are an amazing and fascinating cultural phenomenon. The Sarkorians were a highly spiritual people that revered not only the deities we know, but also a plethora of lesser entities, tribe gods, clan gods, settlement gods, and sometimes even patrons of individual families. God callers could contact these beings and become their, how shall I translate it, companions. They formed a very strong bond. In a way, gods were their spiritual siblings. Well, you can imagine just how different their society was from ours. Union with the divine was a more regular occurrence, and the higher powers intervened in the affairs of mortals more often. Who ruled Sarkoris? That's an interesting question. Many people compare Sarkoris to modern kingdoms, since they did have chieftains endowed with absolute power. Still, the nation did not have a single leader. The Council of Chiefs made their decisions together. In some places, the post of chieftain was hereditary, but as far as I know, not everywhere. Besides, their politics were influenced by god callers and priests who relayed the wishes and expectations of higher powers to common folk. So chieftains could not ignore them. I would compare Sarkoris to modern Andoran rather than Mendev. It was a true nation, a people firmly aware of their unity and shared purpose. You've satisfied my curiosity. Thank you for the pleasure of this conversation. I have to go. The captain nods politely. I see. Duty calls. Alright. And then there's supposed to be someone else here. But I can't find them. Like, I'm sure they're here. I just don't see. I just don't see them.
Camille?
Yeah, no, not him. Not her. Commander Hammatin, I think is his name.
Whoa.
Supposed to be the guy in charge of the military aspects of what goes on here. What the hell is it?
Alright, let me check the map. This is from Sela just down here. So is Commander is the captain here? Oh no, he's on the roof. Alright, I have to go up. Alright, before that, let me go into the cemetery. Let's see. Alright. The soldier stares at his cards in the dim light of a candle stub. Deal me 2 more. I'll double down. Coins clink as they land on the barrel. Deal me another one. What? Another one? Are you bluffing, you little shit? Wait until we lay down our cards and you'll see if I'm bluffing. You don't immediately recognize Social's voice. In battle, he is quiet and composed, but now you can hear furious passion and excitement in his words. Oh, it's night now. Yep. Fine, you scumbag. I call. Deal me another as well. Excitement, passion, and tension seem to hang over the improvised table. It feels like lightning is about to strike. What's going on here? Socio, what are you doing? Say nothing.
Say nothing.
Say nothing. Fine. Damn, I'm out. The soldier angrily throws his cards on the barrel. Go on, show us what you've got. Read them and weep. Socio reveals his cards with a gloating laugh. Nothing but junk. I knew it. You holier-than-thou types can't bluff. I was, and you fell for it. With this, Socio slams a card on each of the soldiers' shoulders like epaulets, and places the rest of the cards on top of his opponent's head. Now you've done it, you. The soldier grabs Socio by the collar, and the cleric immediately raises his fist, as if expecting it. At this point, one of the other players spots you in the shadows. Hey, there's someone over there. We've been caught. The jig's up. Let's bail. The candle stub is snuffed out. The cards are scattered into the mud. After a moment, only the embarrassed Socio remains. What are you doing here? His voice no longer holds excitement. We did nothing wrong. Well, tempers flared a bit. But that's usually doesn't happen, I swear it. Say, fine, let's forget it happened. My lips are sealed. Huh. I was worried that you'd gotten yourself into trouble, or do you think this is an appropriate place for a cleric to be spending his time? What to say? What to say?
Do you really care about him?
No, absolutely not.
So what's the options again?
My options are, I was worried that you'd gotten yourself into trouble.
That's not bad.
The second option is, do you think this is an appropriate place for a cleric to be spending his time? And the third one is, fine, let's forget anything happened. My lips are sealed.
2.
B role play.
Be a perfect player.
Can I just tell him to drop it? Alright, so what you need to do is you need to grab this noose.
You can always remove him.
No, he won't die if he just leaves. I need to make sure he dies. There's a difference. Someone leaving the party is not inherently dead. They're just not playable.
You can do it.
Alright, do you think this is an appropriate place for a cleric to be spending his time? Where? Amidst the soldiers resting between battles? Where I can monitor how they're coping with everything they've seen and done? Yes, I think it's a very appropriate place for a cleric. I know you would never lie to me, so I think you must be lying to yourself. You didn't come here to minister to the soldiers. Why else would I come here then? To win a copper or two? Let's see. You say it yourself, the soldiers come here to unwind.
Don't you need that too? Or I could say you provoked that soldier. You were practically begging for a fight.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Because is that part of Shella?
I was? No, you misunderstood. That was... Social searches for the right words to explain himself.
Lie to me now.
But grows dejected and lowers his eyes. You're right. Shame on me. I provoked the fight. I behaved unacceptably. Forgive me, Shellen. Okay, let's see. Don't be foolish. You're mortal, just like the rest of us, not some all-powerful deity of mercy. You need time to relax like the rest of us. Please be honest with yourself. That sounds a little nice. What's the next one? I'm glad you realized it. Perhaps you should also confess it to your goddess. And the last one is just saying, fine, let's forget things again. I guess that one's just going to stay there. But let's pick one of these other two. Let's see. Which one sounds meaner?
Now confess it to your god. Now say yourself
Confess to your goddess. Yes, thank you for opening my eyes to my unworthy behavior. I will go and pray for Shellen's forgiveness. Good night. And your forgiveness shall be death.
Or you'll lose your power.
Good. He's not using them. He's only in my party after all. Let's see. Arushale.
Well, she hangs out in the temple?
Yeah. Well, she hangs out in front of it. Do you like silence? Arushale looks at you and smiles sadly without saying a word. Yeah, do you like silence? I used to talk a lot before, and all of it was a lie. My words ruined so much. I like silence more now. Yeah. Let's see. I saw you disappearing in a kaleidoscope of butterflies. What was that? Desna protects me. Whenever something threatens my life, she teleports me away from the danger. I guess the goddess does not want me to die before I fully redeem myself. I do not deserve her kindness. It's like an easy way to say keep her in the party. Alright. Well, you know what? I'm going to save just in case this does lead to it. There's a question to ask. But I'm worried it might activate romance option. So I'm going to save just in case.
Wouldn't hurt. You can have the romances all through the game. And then there's the thing saying.
First off, one, I don't know that. Two, I don't want to do that anyway. I don't want to be some scumbag playboy that's trying to fuck everything in sight. So fuck off. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
They're doing.
Are you afraid of intimacy with a succubus?
You're not mortal.
I'm not sure you realize. Like, okay, Atrocious, maybe you forgot the stories about succubus, but they do kill you when you do that.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. She literally confesses that she's done it a lot.
Not killed.
She has killed. The whole reason she's around Desna is because she killed someone. She's killed several times. She admits to it. Alright, let's go. Are you afraid of intimacy? With a succubus, yes. Am I afraid of intimacy with anyone else? No, just don't desire it. Like, I think Darren, hit on me when we were in Canabras, and I just said no. They drain your life force that does not inherently kill you.
At all.
See, okay, fine. You two, I get it. You love the idea of sleeping with a succubus. I'm pretty sure I don't want to fucking risk it.
You can summon her at every time.
Why do you get, okay, but it's like, she can kill you, can kill. Your argument is, she can. You got a chance to survive. It's like, I'm not risking it. I'm not
That includes every other person you're sleeping with.
No one else is a succubus. Screw
Man
you.
has the same potential to kill you.
No, they don't kill you. You don't die the same way a succubus would kill you.
Same with her.
Okay, all right, fine. I'll tell you what. If I go with Camilla and it turns out she is also a succubus, as high as she is, I can believe it. Then yeah,
No, worse.
I cut it off.
It's gonna be part of our blood ritual.
I'm not. She's not going to do a blood ritual on me.
Yeah, right.
You guys just hate. You just hate.
Saying you're now a noble commander.
I'm
Literally
I'm already a noble. Like I picked a noble background.
That's right. You're the perfect sacrifice for her.
Shut up, you jackass.
She goes after noble.
No, she doesn't. She killed random crusaders because they were evil and they like it was a nightmare and that illusion that forced her to do it.
Okay, sure. That same nightmare is gonna be
And those weren't nobles. They were just regular folk. Anyway, let's see. Because she would feel horror for killing anyone, not just a few people. What a horrible nightmare that illusion forced her to experience. All right, now moving on. All right, the only thing I didn't ask Arushale yet is, may I ask you a personal question? The kind of question a mortal might ask a succubus. You want to talk about sex? Arushale looks you in the eye. Ask me anything. I'll not keep secrets from you, but don't expect to hear anything lighthearted or pleasant. The kiss of a succubus is deadly, isn't it? Not just the kiss. Any caress of any kind sucks the life from mortals. And there's nothing I can do about it. You guys are nuts! I'm not fucking that! Are you kidding me? So that's worse. I thought you had to at least do the deed. God damn. She can hug you to death.
She doesn't need to touch you to get it.
That's worse. Any caress of any kind. God damn it. And that doesn't make it better, bro. That's worse. Alright, continue. Arushale touches her lips ever so slightly. For mortals, tenderness is tenderness, and violence is violence. But I don't know what it's like to kiss and not inflict pain. I just hope my observations of mortals will help me understand. Young lovers, old spouses, even what mortals condemn as promiscuity. To me it all looks like something amazingly human. You know, a drop of vital energy is a small price to pay for your kiss. Fuck that! No, I'm not saying that. Wait, you mean you don't just watch people during the day out in the street? Well, I never touch anyone. I never harm anyone. I just watch and listen. Is that bad? Yes.
No, it's not. You can watch porn.
Porn, dude. She's a peeping Tom.
No, she's not. She's worse. She sees everybody.
What's the term? A voyeur? She's running around looking in on people fucking, dude. Like, that's not
or
good.
in their dreams while they do it.
Somehow that's worse. That sounds like an even worse. That sounds like a worse invasion of privacy. That's not better. How are you trying to use that as a defense?
It's not. But at least you can tell, saying that's a fantasy. Or
All right,
reality.
what can I say here? Lawful. You must respect others' privacy. Please restrict yourself to observing people in public. I mean, I didn't bother condemning Greybor for being an assassin. I'm going to stay consistent. I'm not being a hypocrite on this here. But yes, that is kind of bad. That is still pretty bad. I didn't know she was doing that. Let's see. Chaotic. No, it's not bad. Just don't get caught.
No.
And the non-alignment one. Let's just say they wouldn't be happy if they found out you were watching.
Chaotic.
Fine, whatever. No, it's not bad. Just don't get caught. I can promise you that. The succubus smiles. What is sex between demons like? What? Wouldn't you do it if you could peep on other people fornicating? I'm sure your internet history tells many a story. I'm sure if so.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
sure. All right, so here's the thing. I'm sure somebody did one of those things where, hey, we're gonna collab and we're gonna everyone's gonna pay. Everyone, we're doing a contest where you reveal your internet history. Let's just say I would not enter that type of competition.
You don't have none.
I have an internet history.
Yeah, but you don't have none that would be.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, you're right. I don't have a circle of streamers or / other YouTubers or anything that would want to reach out to me. It'd be cool, but all I do is play an RPG. A RPG.
Zora Dream.
Okay. Whatever.
Or a drug that keeps you dreaming.
I don't know, man. It's different if someone's paid to do it and they're perfectly fine with it. It's another if they're unwilling, unsuspecting, they don't want to put on the show.
They wouldn't even know.
There are. But does that make it better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least to say it's without having no direction. And free form.
You know what?
And
they don't have the internet in these times, so maybe I should cut I should cut her some slack.
But for demons and angels, wait, you see us all the time.
Technically, yeah, angels and demons can peer in on mortals at all times anyway, so it's they probably don't even think much of it.
Yo. And worse, we say you don't even see us do it.
Right,
yeah.
Hold on. If the name Daughter for Dessert rings any bells, I know what type of man you are. That does.
What the hell is that?
That does not. I'm sorry.
What the hell is that?
Atrocious has more knowledge than we do. Should.
What is that?
Tell us.
Yo!
Can you tell us? I don't know what it is, but I'm willing to find out. Wait, how good or bad is it to know this?
What is that?
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game. Oh, so one of the dating sims? Western developer or Japanese developer?
What is that?
No, I've seen plenty of dating sim games. I got Pathfinder Kingmaker on
that pigeon game?
Through GOG.com, and they advertise other games where you can get romance options and stuff. Western developer. All right. Is it any good? Let me in any regard, is it any good?
Wait. What's his favorite dessert?
I'm not gonna stream a dating sim game.
What's his favorite dessert?
No, it says Daughter for Dessert. This could mean many things.
Yeah.
Because, there is an anime where all the characters are literally just named after countries. So, I could...
Or you say you're the stepfather and your daughter hit you.
Oh, hold on. It's Western developer. Until you are forced to make a single choice. It's a game... What do you mean? It's not... It's just a regular dating sim until you make a choice, or is it an adult dating sim all the way? I have existed. I know what porn is. I know what porn games are. I just never heard of this one. Let's see. Play it and find out. Intriguing. Well, at least you didn't ask me to play Doki Doki Literature Club. That game's fucked up.
That's great.
It is. It actually is. It's just... Oof.
Did you play the second one?
No, I didn't. I heard about it. It's just I've been getting swamped with work lately. We're kind of ever since they've been trying to pick things up at work. We've been short staffed. They were trying to hire new people, but so as long as they're short staffed, my free time is kind of bad. So what I'm doing now is kind of it. Aside from like playing a D&D group with friends. So yeah. All right, let's see here. What is sex between demons like? Might as well ask. Everything demons do is a sort of cannibalism. Ew. Each devours mortals and other demons in their own way. Some enjoy literally tearing off pieces of flesh with their teeth. Others like to subdue and turn their prey into slaves and living tools. Some feed on others' humiliation. It comes in different forms, but the essence is always the same. Another being is an object to be used for your own pleasure. Demon sex doesn't differ from any other type of violence. In my former life, it was something I did to others, or others did to me. Only one person ever received pleasure, not the other. Ew. Ew. Do you still feel desire? Arushale keeps a long silence as she searches for the right words. You see, on the one hand, my succubus nature remains with me. I feel the desire I feel is the one from my old life, when I took any mortal.
Here you go. You left the skin page.
Oh shit, thanks. When I look at any mortal, I immediately imagine how she looks away. But that feeling, that desire, it's not what mortals feel. When you like someone, you don't ponder how good it would feel to drink their soul, do you? You think about how good it would feel to be together. Together, you see. You know how to want someone, and at the same time not want to destroy them. For me, it's always one and the same. True despair rings in Arushale's voice. I'm not even talking about love, just the common mutual affection of mortals, when they're not poisoned with violence. Now I know that I've never felt it. It's hard to imagine how it's even possible. Thank you for being so open. Arushale nods without saying a word. Alright, that's it. I will be watching you. Okay. Well, a few things. One, it's getting to that time. 2, food's here. 3, already didn't really eat much for lunch. So, we are going to call it for tonight. Trosius, thanks for hanging out with us. Wasn't so hard, now was it?
Dollars for dessert? What was it?
I'm gonna look it up, but I'm probably for safety of not getting my channel shut down, I'm not going to stream that. You will find out if we even bother playing it or not if I start streaming something else in like 2 hours. An hour or 2. Besides, there are other games I want to play, and I actually don't have to get into work until tomorrow evening, so I do have the chance to do that. Just gotta figure out what I'm gonna play. Any ideas, bro? An RPG of any kind? There's a lot of RPGs I have, so like just pick something.
Neverwinter 2.
Neverwinter Nights 2? Alright, sure. We'll stream that for a bit. Why not? But that'll be after we eat. I'll be back tomorrow in the morning with Pathfinder Kingmaker. And yeah, and in about 2 hours for Neverwinter Nights 2. And probably more fun seeing you play it. Wait, hold on. There is tits, so Twitch wouldn't like it anyways, but it was fun while I played it. And probably more fun seeing you play it. While that may be true, here's the only way I've seen people get around this. You get like you get your Patreon account, right? And then I don't know how they do it, but they upload a video of them playing it and upload it specifically to their Patreon page, and then just say, if you want to see it, come to my Patreon. You can see what happens there. Because then you don't get in trouble with Twitch or YouTube or anyone else. Supposedly. Supposedly. Sometimes people still do.
So you're gonna be one for those people that will suffer.
If I did. I don't even know, but here's the problem. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to actually load a video onto Patreon. I'd have to watch like tutorial videos. First, I'd have to get the damn game. Is it sold on Steam, GOG, or do I gotta go to like an alternate client or something? I'll find out when I look it up. I'm hungry. Alright. Good night, Trocius. If you are on late, I'll see you later tonight with probably Neverwinter Nights 2. Until then, take care. The game is not sold. The game is not sold? Wait, so is it free? You can play the game for free for the first few chapters. Oh, it's a work in progress. Alright. But like you said, there's adult content on it, so I gotta find a way to put it onto the Patreon page. And even then I'd have to be careful. Alright. But for now, time to eat. So, talk to you later. Until then, take care.